In that 34 game, I remember reading a write-up about that Robertsdale game. I guess the
Oh, that
12-0 said it was a free-for-all or something like that.
That was a tiger. Now we went up and, well, they had built up. They had a good team that year. They did enormously beat them. And had a good team that year. And they knew they were going to beat us. And they came down and had 4 or 5 cars came down and right through the schoolyard and around. And banners flying, you know, and y'all come. Come on up. And we went up and turned it into a pretty easy game. And in fact, they got where almost every play they had one guy on tackle on the Robertsdale team, our right tackle. I was a left end, and Fat Sullivan. Maybe you've heard of Fat Sullivan or not, but Fat Sullivan was had not many muscles, but he had a lot of blubber and was a hell of a fine guy. But Fats was our left tackle, defense. Well, you played offense and defense, both like that. But Fat was right next to me, and so then this guy opposite him was trying just mutilating him. I mean, whopping him, hitting him, slopping him, and we were beating him. Had him down, I don't know how much, but had him down a sufficient amount. And so it got so bad that Nike says, every time we get the ball, we just kick it back to him, because we got a good defense. Kick it back to him. We kick it back to him, and we back them up. And this just irritated the hell out of them. They couldn't go anywhere, and it kept backing up. Every time we kick it back to him. This is in the last part of the game. And this guy just all of a sudden he got so frustrated, he slugged Fat Sullivan. And so my hand stinks. I'll talk you out of one. You know, but sometimes your wildcat instinct gets a hold of it. And I jumped in. And he and I had a slug for that. And they stopped it before it even happened. Not too much happened. Fat's face was bleeding, and I don't think he suffered anything from me from him. But the game was over, and so we started for the bus to come home. And all of a sudden, this guy with an entourage behind him caught up with me just as Fat was getting on the bus, got on the bus, and just before I got to the door of the bus, caught up with me, and I got someone jerking my shoulder out. All of a sudden, he and I were in a tangle. He coming in. So it ended up, well, he slugged a couple times, and I did too, and we ended up on the ground, and he was on top of me. And so he had got his hands into my face, and he clawed about 3 or 4 gashes down the side of my face. And I said, by the time we give up. I said, the Rosington people were there, and Mark Crosby was there trying to keep people quiet and calm down. They were right there with the knives out, putting them, and I could see them. And I thought, good, guts cut out here. Some of these guys were fighters up across from there. They'd go with dancers around here. They'd have a brawl almost every Saturday night. And I could dream of getting myself cut. And I talked to the guy, and I said, listen, I said, we're not getting anywhere here. I said, let's give up, get out of here. And I said, you see those guys? I said, I'm going to get cut. And he agreed with me. And, you know, we got up. I don't think he got bruised at all, but I got 3 gashes down the side of my face. But got on the bus and got out of there. But it was a jolly good time. We were glad to get out of town that day. But I forgot the score. What was big deal?
Yes.
That was one of the nastier games we ever played. The Bruton game wasn't that bad. I mean, that fight started and ended pretty bad. But Malcolm Akins, he was in control. He was a muscular guy. All muscle. Good looking.
Well, talk about Clay Knight. What do you remember about Clay Knight specifically?
Had a beautiful wife. Lucille Knight was a good looking guy. Well, that wasn't much after.
How old was he when he came here, would you say?
Oh, my. He must have been. I can't reckon. He must have been in his 20s, maybe 30, I don't know. I don't. He was quite mature and lots of imagination. He constantly trying to get us into new competition. He had a tough time getting us games with Tuscola. Tuscola didn't want to play us. We had a tough time getting games. He was always going for a good game for us, and he had good teams. He was a good coach. And again, the guy would beat them. He was very good at it. But remember one year he was he had something nationally, some sort of a club that he, I don't know if it was basketball or football. He coached basketball, football, both. We play football. As soon as football was over, we were on the basketball court because we had that many students there. You know. But he, I guess it was a basketball team, and he had lined us to go to Cuba. They were having a tournament down in Cuba, and they were going to pick some high school. And he had high hopes of getting us down there, and I think he almost made it. But he was constantly reaching out to things to enhance us as athletes, something, a goal out here to reach. We're good enough, we're going to make this, you know, we're going to get there. He was a goal-oriented individual, and very likable individual. Tough, yes, but you liked him. You know, he didn't run your laps, you know, and I usually, on the lecture on the field, I would pride myself on getting out ahead of all the guys and stay there, and run my laps and stay there. And let the guys follow me. And if I needed an extra lap, I did, you know. I'd get kicked about it. What are you trying to do? You're trying to kill us. But that was part of the fun of it. But he admired me for that, and had mentioned it a couple times. But that's what a leader is made of. You do get out. You bring people along that way. And I got tough. I would always pride myself in being real tough. We had this guy, Pat Sullivan, again, he was a big guy. And I probably could have ruptured myself. And I said, Pat, I want you to step out into the locker room one day. And I thought, lay down here, and I want you to show the boys that I hopped up my stomach, and I want you to stand up on my stomach here. And I got up to stand up on my stomach, and he said, you're going to bounce a little? I said, yeah. And I might have gritted a little bit, but I got my muscles tight. And these are things that Coach Knight brought out of you, that if you kept yourself in excellent condition, you could get out there and best anybody. See, a lot of kind of people were up back in those days, I suspect that they still do, you know, go up half prepared. That's where you get injured too, you know, be half prepared. And he believed in keeping you good and tough so that you didn't get injured. My nemesis with my ankle, I've always had weak ankles. I can't ice skate in there good, but we did good ankles. But every game I turned my ankles, and every game I did. And I had my ankles taped up. Here you go, despite that I'm going on. That's where I'd get a turn it and then excruciating pain like it's on fire. And probably have it myself. First thing, take me out for 1-2 plays and let me go back in, you know. And you'd wake up that night and swole up, you know. But within 4 or 5 days, they're down again. Go back next week, do it again. So I've had those ankles turned.